Hello and welcome back. So before we start getting our hands dirty, I want to talk about some aspects of this course, the classes that you watch, the tools that you'll be using here in this course. I know it may sound a little bit boring, but I want to anticipate some questions my students always ask me. I've been creating courses for a while now, and I wanted to avoid answering these questions all the time, as I know these questions will eventually come up, so let's go and talk about them. So first, I would like to talk about some things that I hope you have already set up on your machine in order to start the course. As this course is a little more advanced, it will require a little bit more effort from students, and I make this very clear in the introduction video and in the course's landing page. I decided not to record videos with basic level explanations here, okay? For example, teaching how to install WordPress, how to install a local server, how to use PHP etc. So if you're taking this course and you don't have any idea of how these things work, don't even know how to install WordPress, don't have your local server up and running, etc., that's the wrong way to start. So I suggest that you first build a more solid base on web development and then you come back here to this course, right? Otherwise, you will struggle a bit to follow the material, and it won't be my fault because the prerequisites for this course are pretty clear, right? So first of all, you must already have WordPress installed, preferably in its latest version. So you can do a test installation of WordPress, or you can use any installation you have available because the project we'll build in this course will not depend on the installation itself. For the local server, you can use anything you like. In my case, I'm using XAMPP with Apache, MySQL. My PHP is on version 7.4. I haven't installed version 8 yet, but if you have version 8, although I haven't tested, I think the codes I'm going to use here will run smoothly with no problems. Anyway, I'll try not to use too many specific features, too many new features and stuff like that. So any newer PHP version will work okay. Also, another question I'm always asked, Marcelo, which IDE do you use? Can I use any IDE or code editor? So of course you can. Go with the one you feel more comfortable with, okay? I myself, until the last year, I used only Sublime Text 3, but since the end of 2020, I decided to migrate all to VS Code, and I don't know why in this world I took so long to start using VS Code, because it is really awesome. So this is the IDE I will use here in this course, okay? If you have it around, you can use it. If you don't have it, I recommend that you install it, but you can use whatever IDE you want. And what extensions do I use in my VS Code? So before you ask me which extension does this or that, just take a look at my little list of extensions here, okay? If you're interested, if you see some cool feature being used here in the course and you want to use it too, just come back here to this video and check it out. I'm not going to give you support about the extensions I used in this IDE, okay? So if you have any questions about the use of any of them, just do a little search on Google, okay? The only extension here that I really think it's essential is this one here, the PHP IntelliSense. This extension will give you much faster access to the WordPress core to, for example, see what parameters a function can take, what is the return type of these functions, and so on and so forth. Just hover the mouse over the function's name to see a list of parameters. If you press Ctrl or Command on a Mac while you hover the mouse over the function name, you can go straight to it. And here you can see more details. In this course, I will leave almost no reference links to WordPress functions because you can do that using VS Code. So one more reason for you to install this IDE to work with WordPress. Another thing this extension does is it gives you hints about the function's signature while you code. Check it out. This makes the developer's life a lot easier. See? Very useful here, right? Remember, you can also find all the documentation about WordPress functions on the developer's reference page. So I'll leave you the link in the extra material for this class. But I recommend that you go ahead and bookmark this page in your browser because you can use it a lot. As I said, I'm not going to provide the link to the docs for all the functions that we're going to use here in this course. So you can find them all by doing a quick search on this page, all right? Still talking about documentation, I would like to make one thing very clear here in this class. Most of the code that we'll write in this course will not be documented, okay? What I mean by this is that I'm not going to stop the video just to write comments in my code, okay? So what I recommend is that you study and document the code snippets yourself so you don't forget what they do. I know and I understand very well the importance of writing documentation, but as the projects I will show you will not leave this course, they will not be available elsewhere, I will not make a point of documenting anything, okay? A very nice VS Code extension that can help you do that, if you're interested, is the PHP Doc Blocker. This one I'm showing here. Some more tips to finish. Always write your code with the WordPress debug mode on, okay? This will help you see clearer messages, error messages in this case, on the screen while you develop. To do this, you can go to the wp-config.php file. This little guy here. And here in this constant called wp debug, you just need to change the value from false to true. It is vital that you always develop in WordPress using debug mode on, okay? Other things that help a lot are two PHP commands called var dump and print r. They will always be your best friends also in the plugin development process or even theme development. So in the course, we will use var dump sometimes to see content of arrays and understand how to use their values. And I think most of you know these guys. But as I have students from various levels of knowledge, it cannot be mentioned enough. Still talking about debugging, there are some plugins that, they help you develop plugins. And I'll talk about some of them here. Some of them we will be installing during the course, others will not be installed. The first one is called Debug Bar. It is a very complete plugin which also has several add-ons that you can use to debug code, analyze the execution of filters, action hooks, queries. It also has an integrated console. It is very, very versatile. You see it. We also have this simply show hooks, which shows filters and action hooks running on a given page. There's also this show current template, which shows the template files being loaded on a page, and also some additional files loaded. And then there is this one, query monitor, which shows all the queries being executed on a given page. All these tools will help you create code for your plugins much better and much faster. Another tip about things that can help you, there's a site called hotexamples.com. I will leave the link in the extra material too. This one is very useful for you to better understand the context of use of some WordPress functions inside the plugins. So I've used it a few times already. Just put the function name here. And it will look for the function as it is used inside several projects. Check it out. Another thing I used to do is look inside the WordPress plugins folder itself. So here I have the plugins folder. With VS Code, I use this option called Find in Folder. And I can find examples of use for some code that I have doubts about how to use them. Of course, you must have some plugins available in your WordPress. For example, let's suppose you see a cool feature being used in a plugin and you don't know how to implement it. I think it will help a lot to look at others developers' code. For me, it is always very helpful. And finally, all the projects developed in this course are on GitHub. The address is also there in the extra material of this lecture. All the projects are open source, alright? So if you think you want to use any of them as a base for your own work, or even if you want to improve any of these projects and create another plugin from them, feel free to do so. So no need to ask my permission, okay? Although a mention is always welcome. Alright then folks, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the material and see you in next video.